Welcome to the Brewery Adventure, where we explore the vibrant world of local breweries and the incredible atmosphere they create. I'm Tim.
And I'm Courtney. If you've ever wondered what makes a brewery more than just a place to grab a drink, you're in for a treat.
In each episode, we'll cover the places making beer, from the cozy corners of neighborhood tap rooms to the bustling energy of larger brew houses.
We are not just talking about the beer. We are celebrating the ambiance, the culture, and the community that make each brewery a unique destination.
So whether you're a regular at your local brew pub or just curious about what's out there, join us as we uncover the magic behind the taps.
Let's embark on the brewery adventure together.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Hey, this is going to be a fun one. I know.
I'm feeling fun.
Yeah, you're feeling fun. I'm feeling fun. This is going to be a good one because we have a good brewery to talk about and also a little bit of a recap of the last brewery we did.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
We have a lot of adventuring to do.
Kind of two breweries in one episode, although we'll mostly focus on one.
Yes.
This one, Forgotten Star. That's what this one's about. And we're going to talk about Forgotten Star a little bit later in the podcast. But first, we need to open our beers because we don't go very long without needing our beers open.
This is true. I can't talk about breweries unless I am drinking a brew.
Yes, and as usual, we have selected beers from the brewery, actually picked these up at the brewery this weekend.
Yes.
I have one that I've had a couple of times when we've been in there. It's called Return of the Dead Guy. It's a great name. It's a great name, which is one of the reasons I like it. It's a Star Wars themed beer. It's a Maibach. Alcohol content is 6.6%, and it's a delicious, delicious beer. And I'm going to pop it open right now.
Do it.
Oh, boy, that sprayed everywhere.
It did.
All right. Oh, listen to that. Nice.
Solid pour.
Which beer do you have, Courtney?
Well, I don't know if you remember or if you heard me talking when I was ordering these beers. I didn't really have a preference because I kind of like everything that they have. So I told the beer tender your preference and then said, just grab me whatever.
They are very hesitant to do that sometimes, aren't they? She was like, what kind do you like?
Yeah. Like, what do you like? I'm like, no, anything.
No, really. I want you to pick it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did she pick for you?
She picked for me an apricot wheat fruited ale.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure I've had this before, but who knows?
What did they call it?
Did it
Does
have
it have a
I
name?
think that's just the name. I don't think it had a good funny name.
Okay.
All right. I can't get it. I'm making a mess.
How does it smell? Does it smell like apricot?
Hang on. Oh, it does.
Oh, wonderful.
It does.
Give it a pour.
I need to keep a towel by my computer.
I know. Mine kind of popped pretty good, too. I'm going to have to wipe my computer down later.
Oh, this is so messy. There we go.
Very nice. Very nice.
Whew. I'm just going to mop this up with my sleeve. It's fine.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, we both have our beers open. I've tasted mine already. It's delicious.
Ooh, it is nice and fruity.
Oh, nummy.
That's delicious.
Wonderful. Now, we've got the important stuff out of the way. So let's move on to a little bit of a recap of the brewery we did in our last episode, which was Udapils in Minneapolis.
Yes.
And we just did an event there this weekend that was part of we were there as part of a larger event called Strib Unbound. And Strib is the local Minneapolis newspaper, the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Or I guess they call themselves the Minnesota Star Tribune now.
Do they?
Pretty sure. Yes, they do.
I guess I don't follow along that closely.
Yeah, yes, they do. And they were putting on this event that was focused on outdoor activities that people do. And there was at our end, when we were stationed at the brewery, there was also a biking group, a running group there, and a fishing organization, a log rolling thing out in the parking lot, which Courtney can talk about because she did it.
Yes.
And and we were there talking about a game that we both participate in, geocaching. And we had a really good time.
We had a great time. We met so many people. There were lots of people curious about geocaching, asking some great questions. We got some kids involved. There's a geocache on the patio area out there, so we were able to kind of direct people, get out your phone, here's what you do, It's
Yes.
kind of back here.
Yeah, we introduced a lot of people to the game, both to geocaching, the regular part of geocaching, and also to another part of geocaching called Adventure Labs. And in the lead up to this event, Courtney and I created an adventure lab, a 10-stage adventure lab for people to kind of tour around the brewery area and then up through the park next door, Theodore Wirth Park. And a lot of people did it. I looked at the statistics this morning, and just the ones around the brewery had almost 30 finds on them. So a lot of people checked it out and got to try out different parts of geocaching, which we were super excited about. And we got to do all of this while drinking Udapils beer the whole day.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a great day until I left and realized that the backside of me must have been basking in the sun quite a bit, and I have a really nice sunburn on the backs of my legs.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I wore long pants.
You were smarter.
It was good. But you did have this sports skirt thing
Yes.
on, which made it possible for you to do the log rolling. Tell us a little bit about that.
It came in very handy for the log rolling. So our friend Josh, who I think we're going to hear from in just a little bit, he also was willing to try the log rolling. So we went and checked that out and each tried it individually, and then they let us jump up and try it at the same time. So we had a really great time with them. Log rolling is really hard.
I can imagine. I can imagine it's super hard.
But it was a fun, they just had kind of like a giant sized kiddie pool with this big log that was in there that they'd help you get up on, and they'd kind of keep it steady for you a little bit, but then they'd let it go and it would actually move and you'd have to try and figure it out. Yeah,
I saw the video. I was manning the booth while they were overdoing this, but I saw the video and it did look like a lot of fun. And you both got a little bit wet, which probably felt good. A little bit wet. Which probably felt good. It was a gorgeous day.
Neither of us actually fell in, but legs, pants, skirts, wet.
Mm-hmm, yeah. It was worth it, though, it sounds like it.
Absolutely. Would do it again.
Very cool. So that is a little bit of a wrap-up of the day at Udapils. And for a little bit more information about what the day was like, we're going to go to a live recording that we did hosted by our good friend Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, who has a nice YouTube channel. You can find the geocaching vlogger. He also has another podcast, a travel podcast that he does with Craig, known as See My Shell. They do a travel podcast called Treasures of Our Town. And you can find that, excuse me, you can find that on any of the podcast places. Same place you find our podcast, you can find theirs. And I would encourage you to look up either one of those things, the YouTube channel or the podcast. But Joshua wanted to do a little bit of a live recording, I think mainly because he wanted to be the first voice heard on our podcast other than ours.
I think he had an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I think he had in his head that, like, I'm going to be special because I am going to be the first. And he is.
He is.
So let's go to that recording now, recorded live at Udapils this past Saturday.
Hello, this is Joshua, the geocaching vlogger. I am the first person to be on the Brewery Adventure podcast that is not one of the hosts. So I'm just very excited to be here because I am here with your hosts, Courtney and Tim, from the podcast. We are here at Udapils. I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Udapils, that's correct, Josh.
Is that how you pronounce it, Courtney?
That's how you pronounce it.
Okay, good. We're here at Udapils, and what are we doing here? What are we doing? You're representing.
Yeah, we're here because it's the Strib Unbound event, and that is taking place in Theodore Wirth Park and here at Udapils Brewing. And we're here talking about geocaching and adventure labs and also the podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. You said Strib. What does Strib stand for, Courtney?
Star Tribune, the newspaper.
Oh, they're trying to make their newspaper trying to get promotion, right?
Yeah, and it's all about outdoor activities, which is why we're here talking about geocaching. There's also some log rolling out there, which you did earlier.
I did it, and also Courtney did it. Courtney, tell us about that experience. How'd you feel about that?
My log rolling dreams have been fulfilled, and I'm having a great day.
Me too. I was really horrible at it, but I think it was the fourth time I tried. I actually was able to stay up for more than 1 second.
You had a really solid run, and we got to do one together.
Yes, we did, and that was way more difficult, I think. Yeah.
I was bringing you down.
No, I don't think so. It was a team effort, and I think the team failed.
No, we were a success. We were a log rolling success.
Oh, I just love your positivity, Courtney. That's awesome. So this is all about outdoor activities.
Yeah.
So the thing that's fun is that we're out here on an amazing patio.
Yes, the
and
beer garden.
The beer garden.
Yep.
And the fun thing is that drinking beer here at Udapils is an outdoor adventure.
It absolutely is an outdoor adventure.
It absolutely is. In fact, the name Udapils means the first beer you have outside in the spring.
Wait. Did you just make that up, or is
No,
that true?
I did not make it up. It's true.
I need to verify. Courtney, is that true?
It's on the coasters.
It is? Okay, if it's on the coasters, coasters, it's clearly very true. What other, so we got geocaching out here, we got log rolling. What else is happening out here?
Well, I can see right over here, there's a group called Fishing for All. They're talking about guided fishing trips. Right over there is the Thursday Run group that is here every Thursday at Udapils Brewing.
And you know what else I saw?
What,
The bird watchers were here.
the bird people were here. Yes,
Yeah,
they were.
I don't think they're here anymore because I feel like the bird watchers are like introverts.
Yeah, this was. And what did you watch earlier? The guy that kayaked from here to the Arctic Circle or something.
Oh my gosh, there's like seminars. Well, not really seminars.
Yeah.
Kind of a seminar. There was a guy that canoed all the way from northern Minnesota to the Arctic Ocean. And you know how far that is?
I don't.
It's as far as New York to LA.
Wow.
That's insane,
That's insane.
right? So, anyway, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings of your very first live appearance? This is your first live appearance of the brewery adventure.
It has been an awesome time. And in fact, most of the time we've been talking about geocaching, of course.
Yeah.
Because we're here talking about geocaching. But we have been also able to share a lot about the podcast with a few people.
That's really fun. Courtney, how many autographs have you signed?
Only 5.
Only? That's pretty good. How many selfies have you taken?
A few. I'll say 3 or 4.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you have any other thoughts before we close off this special episode of the Brewery Podcast?
This has been very exciting, and I'm very glad that you have been the first non-co-host on our podcast with us because you're amazing.
I thank you so much. And I am a fan, and I listen to every episode.
Yes, welcome Joshua to the podcast. And if you haven't heard of the Geocaching Vlogger yet, you need to find his YouTube channel, the Geocaching Vlogger.
Wow. Thank you for that promotion, because I was going to do it myself. No, I wasn't. All right. I'm seeing a lot of fun dogs. I'm seeing babies. This is just overall just good times.
Straight good times.
Udapils is always a fun time. If you're ever in the Twin Cities area of Minnesota and you want a nice brewery to come to Udapils in Minneapolis.
And it's so awesome that you guys have offered your services of teaching people geocaching and adventure labbing. And yeah, good vibes. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Wow, that was cool. Thanks, Josh, for going out of your way to make sure that we did a live recording. Josh has been a really big encouragement to us because he has a lot of experience in podcasting and in YouTube stuff. And so he's really been a big encouragement to us in trying to help us develop this podcast and get it known to more people. So thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep. Well, let's move on to Forgotten Star, which is located in Fridley, Minnesota. And Fridley's kind of
Fridley.
Yeah, it's right along the Mississippi River, the north side of Minneapolis. People think maybe Fridley's the long ways up there, but the part that the brewery is in is actually almost the southern tip of Fridley. There's kind of a little piece that goes along the river, and it's kind of right nestled down in that piece. So it's really not that far out of the city, and it's a pretty cool brewery to visit because it's in a historical building.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of historical importance with the building. I mean, so much so when you go inside, they have an entire wall with kind of history bits and facts and stuff about the building itself.
Yes, they do have a nice big wall of information that you can look at, pictures of how it used to look in the area around the brewery and in the brewery. The reason it's called Forgotten Star is because the stars were part of this history. So before World War II, the Northern Pump Company was in the building that the brewery is in and also in many other buildings around it that are no longer there. All of those other buildings have been taken down and replaced by nicer, newer warehouse buildings that are all very busy. So this remaining building that the brewery is in was the Northern Pump Company before World War II. But when Pearl Harbor happened, they quickly shifted gears and became a producer of naval material, and so they switched to producing stuff for the Navy. And the Forgotten Star is part of that history, because the Navy would give out these excellence in production awards. And initially that would be in E, the letter E for excellence. And if you go to Forgotten Star, you can see the E up on one of the tall smokestacks that still exist there. There's 2 of them in the building, and they're super tall. And you can see that E, but you also see a bunch of stars.
Yeah, absolutely. The stars afterwards, for every 6 months that you continue to be excellent in production, they give you another star.
Yeah. And this facility, this Northern Pump facility, was one of 86,000 manufacturing facilities for the U.S. military. That's amazing.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And only 4,200 of those received an E.
Yeah.
And only 8 facilities received 6 more stars.
Small company.
And this facility had all 7 of those. And they are one of only 2 facilities left of the top 8, I think it said.
Yeah.
Of the buildings that are still standing in the country. So it's a pretty historic place, and that's why they named it Forgotten Star, so we don't forget about the stars. And the men and women that served in this company to support the war effort. So I think it's pretty cool. I like the history there.
I think it is pretty cool. And I do think also that they acknowledge that a lot, and the excellence that started in that building, they're trying to maintain through the brewery and the beers that they make.
Absolutely. And I think they're hitting it pretty well. The building also sits right next to an active train track, which is kind of cool. You don't have to cross it or anything to get to the brewery. It's between the brewery and outside there. You can see there's a fence, and then the track's on the other side of it. But you can see there's large windows along that whole side of the building. And when trains go by, it seems like they're really close. I mean, they're right there.
It seems like they're really close, but when you're inside, it's also remarkably quiet.
Yeah, it really doesn't. They did a good job with it. And it's kind of cool, though, just to feel like you're still in that active production area with trains going by.
Yeah.
Super, super liked that. What did you think, Courtney, of the beers that we've had at Forgotten Star?
We've had a lot. I feel like we've been to Forgotten Star many times, and we've had a lot of different beers there.
Yeah.
I think recently, I know when we were there just this last time, I had a Squeeze the Day, which was a mango lemonade sour. Absolutely delicious. I hope it is still there when we go back, when it gets a little bit warmer outside even, because that just seems like it's going to be a very refreshing summer beer.
Mm-hmm.
And another one I really liked that I had quite a bit when I've been there over the winter times was their chocolate raisberry stout.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have that one. I wish I would have.
I'm surprised you didn't.
It sounds really good. I wanted in my last flight that we had this weekend, the flight comes with 4 beers in it. I had the one that I have tonight here, the Return of the Dead Guy, because I like this one a lot. And so I wanted to make sure I had this one again. And I also had, I think, the Dry Irish Stout.
The Mad Lad.
The Mad Lad. And I had a Train Hopper Hazy, because I'm trying to branch out a little bit more into the IPAs and getting used to drinking them. And hazies are generally a little more palatable to me.
Yeah.
And this one was good. I liked it. It's still not my favorite style, but I did like it. And then I had the Triple.
Triples is best.
Yeah, Triples is best is what it's called. A pretty good beer, I'd have to say.
Pretty good. Like maybe it recently won an award or came in second place for an award.
It came in second place.
The Minnesota Brewers Cup Awards just a couple weeks ago gave it the Belgian and Monastic Ales second place.
I guess other people agree. It's also a very good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really did. I really did like the 4 that I had. I think I had a nice little variety. And so that's what I look for when I want to get a flight. I want to get a variety. I want to pick like 4 of the same style or something like that.
Absolutely. And speaking of flights, they do have a really nice flight holder.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
it's just very indicative of their brewery.
It's a little 5-pointed star shape with their logo in the middle. And it's a nice little holder. No worries about spilling your beers carrying that one.
No, very stable.
Very stable. Very stable. Excuse me. I think I'm going to burp again.
Beer happens.
It's a beer podcast. It's okay. It's okay.
If you came here expecting something other than burps, I don't know what you're doing.
No, it's a beer podcast. They're just going to happen. We're drinking beer while we're doing it. So one of the cool things I did while I was in there this Sunday, and I didn't notice it, I think, the other times when I was there, but it was probably there, was a selfie station.
I had not seen that there before.
Yeah, they have this cool little thing. I'm forgetting the name of it now again. Did we write it down? What was the name?
I thought
of
it was
thing?
a buzzy
Oh
something.
yeah. Buzzy something. You're correct. It's Buzzy something.
Buzzy something's not the actual name, but maybe it's close.
Yeah. Anyway, they have a selfie station. So you just basically, it has a camera on it and a screen, and you can pick lots of different, funny things to put in the picture. So I got one that has like ears and earrings or something.
We will definitely be posting that.
Yeah. Well, you can look for it in the Instagram feed. It will be in there. It will definitely be in there. Like blue earrings and a nose ring and some cat ears.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. It's just kind of a fun little thing. You can just put your phone number in there and then they just send it to you. They send the photo to you. And I'm sure that, I'm probably going to get some promotional text in the future or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
I think when I was walking over in that direction, I was
Yeah.
too focused on the puppy adoption event that was happening.
Yes.
I was
Oh,
blinded
my
by everything
God.
else.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this funny story briefly because my wife told it while we were there on Sunday. My wife, Krista, we were at church that Sunday morning, and we had an organization called Real Hope. It's spelled REEL. And Real Hope is an organization that makes short films, short reels about children in the foster care system that are looking to be adopted. And it really just helps to provide people that are looking to adopt children a better look into that child's life before they make that decision. So it really has been helpful to a lot of kids. And so we had seen that on Sunday morning. That was going on at our church that Sunday morning.
Did it make you want to adopt or foster a child?
It makes you feel like, oh, am I a bad person for not wanting to do this? I have
Oh no.
I have resources, right? I mean, we have resources. We're doing fine. We have a house. We have a bedroom that a child like that could use. So you kind of sometimes feel like a little bad. But I'm glad they're doing it because it really does help a lot of kids. No, I'm not going to be adopting any children. Both of my kids are adults, and I have a grandchild, and that's all I need. But,
That's fair.
So we walk into the brewery, and the first thing you hear is like little over from the back corner, like way down at the end of the building. And my wife turns and she goes, oh, dogs. And there are always dogs at Forgotten Star because, like a lot of breweries, it's a dog-friendly place.
It's very dog friendly.
Yeah, so there's always dogs in there, but this was a lot of dogs. And so she just heads down there. She doesn't even, order a beer first. She just turns and walks towards the dogs. I figured it was maybe a dog walking group or something like that, just friends getting together. No, it's a dog fostering organization. And they're looking for more people to foster dogs and probably adopt them. And it was mostly puppies too,
It was
which made it
puppies.
even
It was
worse,
a
like
lot of
loaded with
puppies.
puppies. Anyway, so yeah, we had the kids in the morning and then the dogs in the afternoon. And well, we managed to get out without either of them. We don't have any new kids or new dogs.
I don't know how you didn't end up with a new puppy, honestly.
I know, they were super cute. I wasn't even going to go look at them in person. I saw the videos that you guys took when you went down there, and it's like I don't want to get that close.
I mean, you guys went down. She saw them once.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, I said, I want to go see the puppies. And she almost jumped out of her chair to come with me.
Yes. They were very cute. And yeah. So that was cool. That's one of the things that Forgotten Star does. Like a lot of breweries host a lot of different events and things like that where a dog fostering organization can be there. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the thing you like most about Forgotten Star?
This is going to sound absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
okay.
it didn't it sounds weird. They have really super high ceilings. So they already have this big space, lots of room to work with in there.
Mm-hmm.
But these super high ceilings and kind of the industrial feel of everything, it just makes everything seem really big in there.
Yeah. And it's not, because it's such a big room, sometimes it can be really echoey in those kinds of spaces, but this one doesn't
There's
feel like that.
There's not a lot of echo in there.
I mean, there were a bunch of dogs at the other end.
Yeah.
Making noise, and it was just fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, a very cool space. I agree.
Very spacious and comfortable.
Yes. And they do have an outdoor patio as well with some big overhead doors that open up. I personally have not seen them open because I've always been there in bad weather. Always. I've been there 8 or 9 times overall, and it's always been not weather to have the doors open.
Well, and it's weird. We've been there in the winter. Obviously, the doors are not going to be open in the winter. You're going to be inside.
Correct.
But we've also been there in the middle of summer, but it's been way too hot that they've just had the AC running because it's unbearable outside.
Yes. So yes, we've seen both ends of that, but they do have a nice little patio, and then outside along where the entrance door is, they have little bocce ball courts. I think they're called courts, right?
Yeah.
I think so. So that's what goes on there in the summertime, and then in the winter, what do they convert them to?
Curling.
That's so cool.
It's so cool, and they have leagues for both of these things too. So I think you can rent time to just go play and do whatever, but you can actually join a league there.
It is so Minnesotan to have curling outside in the winter. That is, I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite things about Forgotten Star is their food trailer.
Yes.
They have a really good food trailer that's there every night of the week except for one, right? There's one night where they shut it down.
I think it's Wednesdays. They have a rotating schedule, so they'll bring somebody else in on Wednesdays to give this one a break.
Yeah, a little bit of variety. But this food trailer they put on, what do they call it again? It's
Hodgepodge.
Which
also seems like a very Minnesotan, Midwestern
and they
good
make
name.
some really good food. I've had a couple of different things there. This Sunday I had a smash burger with like a sweet corn relish on it. Again, kind of Minnesotan. A little sweet corn in there.
Yeah.
Really delicious. And the fry, I love their fries. They make these chunky, curled potato fries. Really wonderful.
And I will say their grilled cheese and tomato soup, top notch.
Yes, I think both you and my wife had that this past time when we were there, and both of you enjoyed it. So
yeah,
Josh had something else, did he not? I don't remember. Maybe he had the same thing. But anyway, we had a good time. The food is good. The beer is good. The place is good. I mean, what else can we say about it? It's good.
Well, I think we're missing one very important part.
Yeah, I know we haven't gotten to that part yet, but I wanted to make sure we covered all the really important things. And now we're to it. So now we have to talk about the bathrooms. And the bathroom situation is also good.
Yeah.
Wow, Forgotten Stars is hitting it on all cylinders.
Good everywhere.
Bathrooms were big, clean, had a place to wash your hands, didn't have to touch stuff. That is all the things you need in a brewery bathroom.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. And to get to the bathrooms, you got to walk down to the end of the building. The serving area is kind of at one end, and a lot of the seating is there. And then there's a little merch area. And then behind that is where usually there's some kind of group gathering. There was a party there while we were there, and the dogs.
Yes.
Two things going on.
The dog part was very important.
And so, but to get to the bathrooms, you got to walk kind of down past all the production tanks for the brewery, which is kind of cool. They kind of have neat lighting in there. And then you get all the way down, and there's that really cool mural on the end wall right before you get to the bathrooms. That is also like a mural depicting the history of the building. Super cool. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Forgotten Star, Courtney?
I think there's just one other thing, and they do have a membership club, which I keep looking at all these different membership clubs because I'm intrigued by what everybody is choosing to do and give kind of as perks for being part of their club. Yeah. So Forgotten Star has their Drinking Buddies Beer Club. Mm-hmm. So for $16 a month, or if you do annually, it's $170. You get 2 free pints and 1 to-go crowler, I think, each month.
Once a month?
Yeah.
Not every time you come in, just once a month.
I think it's once, like, for that month, you get 2 pints and a to-go crowler.
Yeah. You've only gotten sucked into one of these clubs so far, right? The one at LTD?
Surprisingly, only one. But that's not to say that I haven't been strongly considering others.
Yeah, I have not joined any of them, partly because I know with this podcast, we have to keep visiting different breweries all the time.
Yes.
And so I have not joined any of them. If I was going to, probably LTD like you did, because it's the one that I've been to a lot. It's close to home and, but yeah, most of the breweries have these kinds of clubs.
But they all do kind of like their own thing and give their own rewards.
Yeah.
So it is kind of neat to check each one out to see what they're doing.
I agree. Well, I think we've covered most all of this brewery. We have a big surprise for next time, because even we don't know what brewery it's going to be.
This is also true. Magic Mystery Surprise.
The Magic Mystery Surprise for the next brewery in 2 weeks. From the release of this podcast will be another one, but we don't know which one yet. We have actually, and we were talking about that earlier, I think it's because we've been so involved with this thing at Udapils the last few weeks, building the Adventure Lab, gathering things to host a table talking about geocaching. Just preparing for that event has been taking up a lot of our time. And
in a really good way.
Yeah, in a super good way. We visited Udapils a lot of times and enjoyed every time we were there. So, hey, what can you say? We're busy.
We've just been spending some quality time there instead of out exploring.
But we managed to visit. We managed to squeeze in a couple more visits to Forgotten Star, and so that's what we wanted to do this week, because we also enjoy that brewery a lot. We've been there a few times.
Yeah.
So join us next time as we talk about who knows. Surprise brewery.
Another really cool brewery.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming along with us on this brewery adventure. My name is Tim. That's Courtney. And we will catch you next time. Courtney, how can they contact us if they'd like to?
If you would like to contact us, you can email either of us, tim@thebreweryadventure.com or courtney@thebreweryadventure.com. You can find our website, thebreweryadventure.com, or you can go to Instagram @The Brewery Adventure or YouTube @The Brewery Adventure.
Right. So basically, if you can remember The Brewery Adventure, you can find us.
Anywhere you're in.
Yep, anywhere. And make sure you do. We like to have some of those comments coming in. We haven't gotten that many. And I would really like to have more feedback about what breweries other people like around the Twin Cities area in greater Minnesota.
There's so many.
And there's so many reasons to like different ones. And so let's hear from you. Anyway, we'll talk to you next time. We'll be glad to hear from you, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.